Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Today, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this video that I came across. And I hope we are able to digest this video very well because I was able to touch like different parts, like about this getting married early and not getting married early, So he started by saying that. White women go to school to marry, when they get to college, they're strategically dating in order to marry. And Asian women too, that they know the kind of people they are supposed to associate themselves with and the rest of it. But black women go to school to survive. That white women go there to find husband and the rest of it. And I am saying because something is working for maybe, if it's working for white people, it's working for Asians. It doesn't really mean that it's also going to work for me or for other people, right? Some people go to school because marriage is not like their priority or marriage is not the first thing they are thinking. A lot of people get into school because they want to break some certain things, because they want to, attain a particular level, And do I blame anybody for wanting to attain to a particular level for not thinking marriage is the best, like the major thing? Because I have also seen people who got married very early and at the same time divorced, and I have seen people that married very late that also stayed till stayed in the marriage and the rest of it. I mean, vice versa. Let's get into this video.
Y'all are not going to like what I have to say, but I got to say it anyway. I have no problem with what Harrison Butler said. You know why? The kicker for Kansas City Chiefs that made that speech? Let me explain something to you guys. White women go to school to find their husbands. Black women go to school to survive. Now, if you're not triggering and you're sticking around, please, if you've never listened to my full video, please listen to everything I have to say. I'm begging you. And drop a like and drop a comment if you made it this far. That way I know you're actually listening. Here's the thing. Harrison was talking to a group of college-educated Catholic Christian women. The predominant goal of a lot of Christian women is to get married. If you're really Christian, you don't mind getting married. It's kind of a fun thing to do. It's kind of like a marker, okay? The harsh reality is 51% of white women have been married in their lifetime. 51% have been, will be, or will get married, period, point blank. 34% of black men are married. 25% of black women are married. When a white woman is going to school, she is not necessarily going with the primary focus of her getting her degree. I've had several conversations with women about this that are Caucasian. When a black woman goes to school, on the other hand, she is going to school to set herself up for survival because she cannot rely on a man to do it for her. White women have better access to the soft life than our black sisters. It's just the reality of it. It's just reality of it. And then the question comes in, well, whose fault is that, Austin? Whose fault is that, Dr. Julio? Well, let's break that down. If in our generation we say women control access to sex, and society said this at large for much longer than we've been here, women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. So guess what? The harsh reality of it is white women that go to school have a better chance of finding a suitable mate to marry them than our black sisters do, because black women attend college at higher rates than black men. Black women graduate college right now at higher rates than black men. And they're continuing to mitigate the financial gap that's already existing. What Harrison was talking about is the fact that when women go to school, men or women go to school, they go to school, get themselves into $39,000 of debt. That's the average amount that a student carries in student loans when they graduate. So you're walking out of college with your piece of paper that has now cost you $40,000 at least in debt. What he's saying is, instead of focusing on getting your degree, focus on getting married, focus on being a homemaker. He gets to say that to a group of women that are automatically going to be close to or in proximity to other men getting their degrees. He couldn't give that same speech to a group of black sisters because they would be predominantly them in the audience, them graduating. There wouldn't be men in the audience even, period, by any stretch of the imagination. There wouldn't be a comparable number of men to take these women and marry them. So what this actually is a larger conversation of what can black men do to put our women in position to be housewives, to be able to sit down if they want to, because I've always believed that women should have the choice to be a stay-at-home mom or something else. What are we doing or not doing to put our sisters in the position to where they can enjoy the soft life like our white counterparts? I'll tell you what we ain't doing. What we're not doing is actually focusing on building stronger communities, building stronger homes. As I've said in all my content before, I'm going to continue to say it till we do better as a society. We as men have focused far too much on creating kids versus creating community. That's it. Period, point blank, end of story. The average black man by the time he reaches age 42 has 2.5 kids. The problem is we don't understand that the way this world is going, we're going to need to start really focusing on one another. Or we're going to continue to have conversations about why women choose the bear. Seriously. Period, point blank, end of story. No one wants to have this real harsh conversation, this really harsh reality, but guess what? The fact of the matter is, as it stands right now, white women's men are doing better than them at being able to provide them the life where they don't have to work for survival. Survival is not a predominant focus when a white woman is going to college. They actually get to enjoy it to some degree. They get to have parties. What do our black sisters have to deal with? I got to get this, I got to get the bag, I got to because they can't rely on their men. A larger conversation here needs to be had. You dig? White women go to school to find their husbands. Black women go.
This is something that is so correct. I actually made a video way back talking about how white women and Asian women in particular date strategically. They are very strategic when it comes to dating. Recently, we had the NFL draft. There was a big discussion. Oh my God, why is all the black athletes dating white women? But what people seem to ignore is that the way white women and Asian women and non-black women tend to date, they are dating in a very different strata. They are strategic. It's like a business decision. I have seen this in my personal life. I've seen women, they have fun. It doesn't mean they're not studying. They are doing all that. But they know that at the end of the day, when it's time to make a decision, they are putting themselves in the athlete's lane. They are going the extra mile to be seen, to be strategically positioned with the athletes, with the doctors to be, with the bankers to be, with the marketing executives to be, the business people, whatever. They are putting themselves out there, and they also know that they have to take some things. They have to take the extra mile. They know that. That's why a lot of these women, when they go to college, they are living with boyfriends and husbands. I have seen this in my life. Back in university, all the white girls I knew left that university with long-term boyfriend. 3 are married now. Still married. They've got at least, each of them have at least 1 child now. Married. Because I have seen the way Asian girls date, the way white girls date. Bro, it is, I don't think any other group of women match, especially Asian women. There was a big hoopla, like, oh my God, why are only black athletes dating white women? Have you seen what those white women are doing? They go the extra mile and position themselves to be selected and chosen by those black athletes. You can have your opinion about that. That's your business. But I am saying, if you break it down, those white women have positioned themselves. They have worked extremely hard. Now you can say, well, they're only with them for money. It is what it is. The point is, those women put themselves and still got selected. They're not the only women that were there. I feel like the mentality is different. The mentality is different. Now you could say these women, the white women, the Asian women that go to college, they're not in survival mode, compared to the black women in general. They have trust funds set up for them. Their men in their community has really created like a safety net for them, so they can afford to take their foot off the gas pedal to focus on that. In other communities, it might not be the same, so you might have to be in survival mode. But I strongly advise you to go watch the full video, and you're going to see the full thing. It's true, because I've seen this happen. I'm like, man, oh man, you guys are the ultimate strategists, man. It's true.
Women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. So guess what?
Hey, I just wanted to chime in real quick, and I have a question that I want to pose to anyone who is willing to engage in a healthy, productive dialogue. In the part that I stitched, you said women control sex and men control relationships. You then go on and say that you ask the question, what can men do? What can black men do to give their counter black women more soft life? To me, it just seems like all of the blame is being put on the black man when woman, I can wholeheartedly say that it is not entirely the black man's fault. Because per your own statement, if women control sex and men control relationships, What do you think the black woman needs to do in order to gain more access? What is the black woman's role in that whole equation? If A and B yields C, so if men control access to relationships and women control access to sex, then what does a woman need to do? The woman. Because you create a community of individuals through the biological act of sex, which, if women control sex and men control relationships, what needs to happen? Because you can have a relationship with anybody, but the act of sex, women control that. So I'm just curious to hear your thoughts. What can women do in order to set themselves up for the soft girl life or the soft woman life?
White women go to college to find their husband. Black women go to prove they don't need one. Oh my God! Now listen, as harsh as that sounds, there is validity in that statement. Have y'all ever heard of ring by spring? If you look like me, you probably haven't. If you don't look like me, you probably have, because that's a thing in our lighter friends community. Ring by spring is apparently a goal for our lighter toned friends to get a proposal before graduation in the spring. And then, you know what? Last night I saw a movie. There's a movie called Ring by Spring. I'm gonna have to go watch it. But it's a thing. Don't worry, we're gonna touch on the black women go to prove they don't need one in a different video. White women go to college to find their husband. Black women go to prove they don't need one.
Oh my! Would y'all stop lying? Y'all need black women to be the independent stereotype so bad that you don't even think. You don't even think. Black women go to college because usually that's the next step. High school, then college. Or if she has taken a break, she goes to college because she notices that she can make more money when she has a degree. And sisters, young sisters, you don't want to ring by spring. Because those girls who get married, you don't want to be a starter wife. Okay? That's what happens. These 21, 22-year-old girls get engaged, get married, become the starter wife, have starter kids, and they get a starter divorce. You don't want to get married that early in the game. You're too new as a woman. You're too new as a person. And even your man, you don't want to, a 22, 23-year-old man is not ready to be nobody's husband. You hear what I'm saying? You don't want to set yourself up for failure. And that's what eventually happens with a lot of these young couples.
So this is all I got from this, and I mean different angles and all that. Most of them touch different angles, and where do I even start? But the truth is that I do not think that I think black women really do know what they want, especially when it comes to getting married and also having education, because I feel like most black men really value education more than any other thing, right? So sometimes I think the marriage is not like, the major or the ultimate. And I have seen so many people who actually married so early, started off great, and the next thing, before you know what's going on, it's divorce, they divorce. And I have also seen the ones that did marry late and actually enjoy their marriage till forever and all that, and nothing happened. Sometimes I feel like it is not how far, it is how well, And I think, I don't know, but people really know what they want from the onset, from the start, but from the time they start school. Some people really do not want relationships. Some marriage were actually not. Some people, marriage is always like the first thing they think about when they probably get into school or before clocking out from maybe high school, even from high school, before clocking out to college. Some don't even make it to that college and they're all married and start having kids and the rest of it. So I do not blame anybody for anybody saying that white women and Asians date strategically because they want to, like, probably get, have an end result to it when they start. They just don't want to date, and in the end, they are not married to the person. Now, let me tell you something. Relationship is not a do or die affair. Because you dated somebody does not mean that you're going to marry the person. I hope you all understand that. And some people also feel like, I don't know, but just I am kind of trying to touch all angles so that pick the one you want and leave the one that you do not want, right? Nobody should come and tell me that, you were busy talking about some people, I see a lot of people, they want to make it in life before thinking about marriage, and which I do not have any problem with. Like, if you have experienced poverty, or if you have there is how you probably might have lived your life or how you were raised, you probably do not want your kids to also experience something, or probably start feeding from hand to mouth, or probably start waiting for your parents or your relatives and all that to take care of it because you got married at 20 years or 22 years and all that. A lot of people do not want that. And I do, like, sincerely speaking, if you marry early, I am happy for you, and I hope your marriage, lasts, as long as you both want it to last. And if also I do not marry on time, I don't think anybody should be judged, or like I said, because we do not have the opportunity. And some people have that opportunity, but probably marriage, is not their priority. Some people have priorities. Some people want to marry, some do not. Like, they just really want that career first to, before they start thinking of marriage. So I don't know how you say it, but the truth is that I know that most white people, tend to marry early, right? And black people also marry early, because I have some of my cousins that got married at 18, 19, 20, and the rest of it. So what I am saying is, it depends on what you are pursuing. And how do I say that? My destiny and the other person's destiny are not the same. So I think that is all I can say. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.